What's up, guys? Today we got a special guest, the mayor of Detroit, Mr. Todd Chun himself, aka TC Deals. Yeah, what's up, Todd?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, good, good. Let the people get some of the mayor of Detroit here. Yeah, if you could just tell us a little bit about, you, what you're doing, how long you've been doing it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Um, I've been doing it since on my own. I worked a job for 23 years in the mortgage business, the refinance business. I managed 120 Detroit homes and great opportunity, but in 2000, January 1st, 2017, I left that job and went on my own. I burned the bridge and it wasn't easy, man. I was scrambling, I was doing a little bit of everything. I never, 6 months prior, never heard of wholesaling. I went to one of those meetups, on the radio, it says, come learn to fix and flip. Builder, what's that one company? I'll think of it in a minute. Fortune Builders. You heard of them?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So I went to one of their free meetups and they mentioned the word wholesale and explained it. And I said, there's no way. And went through the rabbit hole after that. And within 6 months, I was wholesaling. I daisy chained my first deal because I knew a lot of people. I found a good deal in Detroit, called a buyer, added a couple grand on top of it. Didn't tell anyone I was daisy chaining it, but it worked out. And then from there, I started learning and had a property management company with a partner. We managed over 100 properties in Detroit, which is a full-time job, and just started doing fix and flips. I was doing a bunch at a time and lost some money doing that, doing too many at once. We're doing 12 at a time in Detroit. It was nuts. So, anyways, I got a lot of things I could teach people what not to do, you know, and how
Same.
to and so, but now I'm strictly wholesaling. I am wholesaling one at a time. Once when I find a good deal, where you buy it, clean it up, and throw it back on the market real fast. And I do a few listings, not many. My son takes care of that for me. Together we do that, but I'm not only for investors or foreclosures or our hotel deals, things like that.
Awesome. So is your son a realtor then?
He is.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys got both sides of it then. Um, Something you said there that I was going to bring up anyways, was networking, which is how you got into this, which is how I got into this. So the first event I ever went to, I think it was 2021. Uh, Last minute told my fiance, she had no clue about real estate. I didn't know. It was my secret mission. I was like, hey, I'm going to Vegas for a week. I think she probably thought I was cheating on her at the time. I'm like, bro, I'm going to an event. Flew out to a Ryan Pineda event, learned some stuff, but never took action. Yeah, it sounds like that's how you got into it. So, from your point of view, how important is networking and like what's some first steps people could or should take to start building that?
Yeah, it was one of the biggest things for me. I would be at here locally within, 30 to, well, let's say a 30 to 40 mile radius. We have probably 7 or 8 meetups every month, faithfully. I was a staple at them. All my mission at a meetup was to find buyers. If I found a good buyer, um, that was, and I pitched my deals and whatnot. Back in the day in 2017 and 2018, I was selling deals at these meetups. Like before the meetup started, if I had a good deal, it was flying off the shelf. Things have changed because of different buyers. People retired, people passed away, but yeah, so I mean it's very important, I think, locally. If because I'm local, here Metro Detroit, I got to know everybody. I am doing all of Michigan now. Eventually I'll be nationwide if needed, but right now it's so busy right here.
Sick. So you are expanding a little for the whole state of Michigan. I'm sure it's slowly and um
Correct.
okay, yeah, that's awesome then. But I'm the same with you on networking, dude. Like that's the only reason I'm here. I mean, that's the only reason we're talking. Like
Yeah.
it's huge. Um okay, so then you were talking about how, you've done flips, you were around the real estate business forever, mainly wholesaling now. What was the determining factor to make you go with the wholesaling instead of the flips or the staying with the mortgage? Like, what was it that enticed you to really dive into the wholesale?
I do flipping it it seemed like you're rich one day or broke, and broke the next. You're always anything could go wrong. I mean, furnace getting stolen. Um, once you have a deal, it's all fixed up, beautiful. You sell it, then you gotta go through the appraisal, then or the inspection, then the appraisal, and then the approval. There's just so many, hoops you gotta go through. And by the time you flip a house, you could do five or six wholesales and probably make the same amount of money, you
Probably
know.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more money. So man, I don't know if I mean, I got some horror stories and some flips.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, whenever, like that event I was talking about, alls I knew about was flips. And then obviously you got landlords. They mentioned wholesale, but there's like a stigma with it, of like, the lowest of lows and like you just do wholesaling as a stepping stone. It's not sustainable. It's everybody was dogging it pretty much.
right,
So I was like,
right.
I ain't doing that. So I started going and meeting realtors to check out flips. I ain't never done shit at the and so I'm meeting these people really just networking. Never done a flip, but I was trying to get in the door and I just didn't know about wholesaling really, or it was presented wrong. So
Yeah,
dude, I agree. I mean, so simple, way less risk. You don't have to put money up. Yeah, I love it. I started doing novations too, but I don't do like I'm not going in and painting or doing windows like everyone else. I'm just listing
right.
it. That's it. I'm just simply listing it. Which that I love it. I'm like addicted to it now.
Yeah.
It's just a different, I don't know. I love it, but
I Are you doing your novations just by yourself right now, or do you got people
um,
you
so I'm JVing two. Three right now, which were my first three to like cross. I know how to talk about novations. I know the knowledge, but I never did one. So even there's three listed now. All three of them I'm JVing.
nice?
After I do these, then I'll do it myself. But I've learned the hard way, like everyone else is going to. Don't get greedy, JV it. Like you, if I get a
Agreed.
deal in Detroit, I do it. Hey, Todd, what's up? Here it is. Why would I run around scrambling for 3 weeks when I could use my network and you make two calls and either have it sold or tell me I'm high, and now I'm not
Right.
chasing it. So, um, another thing,
Yeah.
so you have multiple businesses. How do you how do you juggle them? How do you allocate time? Do you have, five employees here, five here? It just seems like a lot, so how do you juggle that?
Yeah, so the other business I have is the dumpster company, and I have one driver. It's small, where, I could grow it, but it's just like my backup company and kind of my rental portfolio. Every time it moves, I make some money. And I text him every morning, make sure he's up. He's never late. If he starts at 6, I tell him leave your house at 6, do this. So I make sure he's up. If not, guess who's getting in the truck and going to do
Yeah.
the first one, right? But he's a great, great employee. So, and I just text him all day long, what's next, what's next, what's next. It only takes me, I'm in front of my computer, it takes me a second. I got a log, I keep track of where my dumpsters are. My son does my invoicing. He knows how to, once we're ready to send out the invoice to get paid, he makes sure we get paid. Um, so that's a big help. And yeah, so it's just, I bought that company in 2019 on seller financing.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Nice. I
it
never
didn't
thought of
cost.
that with businesses.
Yeah, it was at the time it was like nine dumpsters, two junky trucks, dualies, slate trucks, 2008, 2004, but I was having a good time with them. And I supposedly I was buying a book of business, but the book of business in dumpsters, if they call you, right? So that was kind of finagled, but the business is paid off now. I got about 15 dumpsters, try to buy one a year, and I got two different trucks. Actually, one of my trucks, I'm putting a motor in it this week, or it should be done this week, but it went over 200,000 miles with this. It was a 2019, had 218,000 miles. I drove another 200, engine blew up. Now I got to put a new one in, So
Yeah. Okay.
anyway,
So you just have a little bit there. So you're primarily can focus on your real estate stuff.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Um, how do you find your deals now? Like, do you still buy leads or you get enough that come to you?
I get enough that comes to me. I work the foreclosures in the Tri-County area, the weekly foreclosures, and then I get JVs all day long.
Yeah.
And I buy leads once in a while, like speed a lead or something like that on the weekends. I'll just say I'm gonna buy 10 leads, whatever,
Yeah.
and I mess around with those. And I use a different system. I use Investor Plug for my
Okay.
CRM. I'm part of Travis Wells, Titanium and Travis Wells, and I really like how Travis operates his things, Novations and his CRM, and I copied it. Kid you not, you know, I had a buyer's list from another Facebook group of like 600, and my son just text blasted them all. My phone is just flipping
Yeah.
out right now, saying
Yeah.
yes, no, yes. What do you got? What do you got? Yes, no, yes. So I got some hot deals I'm trying to get rid of and adding. I'm probably gonna add 300 to my buyer's list today.
Sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, being the mayor of Detroit, I assumed, that you get bombarded. Now in that, do you have someone that kind of screens those first so you're not spinning wheels all day, or do you just straight look at all of them?
I'm looking at them now. I'm actually getting what do you want to call it? A VA that's an executive for me.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll start next week or end of this week, part-time, and then move them to full-time. I just got to figure out, um, you just making sure I get the right person. I think that's going to help me out and just get rid of some tasks that I should not be doing.
Yeah, no,
And my son helps me out. My son could comp properties, locally on the MLS since we're both realtors, so he could help out in that aspect also.
yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited for you on that. Get some of that mundane stuff off
Yeah.
of your plate. Um, Okay, yeah, and so you keep talking about your son a lot. Sounds like he's very involved, which that's awesome. Um, I guess what's the long-term play here? What does, success look like to you in 20 years with your son? Is he running both these businesses or what does that look like?
Well, in 20 years, I'll be 75 years old, man.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I'm still wholesaling at the time, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But My son, we're still figuring out exactly. I want him to do what his passion is. And if it's wholesaling or we're still, maybe in another 6 months from now, we'll be more dialed in on that. Um, but it's still cool at right now, for sure.
Well, I mean, even if he don't do it, like he has to be learning so much throughout this.
Yeah,
I mean, especially if he's talking to anybody, like just the, which that's something too I was thinking about was like the systems versus actions, which is like, new people. They get so caught up. I did the same thing, analysis paralysis. I'm the worst case of this because I'm all in or nothing. So when I decided I was doing this, I'm like, okay, I'm getting prop stream, investor lift, investor base.
yeah,
I'm like, let's run it. Um, which then brings me to where people try to scale too quick. Like you got all of this stuff going on, and you're just now thinking about bringing on a VA, like one VA to help you. I
yeah,
feel like a lot of people, myself included, I did this twice, try to scale too quick, and it just backfires every time. So, like, at one point, I had like 10 VAs. Um, and then you just realize like it just wasn't for me,
yeah,
it was working pretty good, but it's not long term really.
right,
Now like with you with an admin stuff, yeah, but I'm talking like I had acquisitions, TC,
right.
Dispo, like I'm like, let's step out and I'll just sit here and
Yeah,
never work again. Yeah, that don't work. But um, yeah, what would be your advice on that? And especially now, like just curious of, you've already, I mean, done so much, and you've really not hired anyone or barely anyone. How were you able to do that? And advice to people that's wanting to do it too quick.
right. So I agree with you. I did have some VAs at one t time also, but you have to do way more deals. So I kind of, the JV model to me, even though I was giving someone 50%, they were calling me. I was able to sell them quickly, it worked out really, really well. Um, but I was doing everything. I mean, I was processing them. I was dispoing them. I was even locking them up, all that good stuff. But I realized that a big team, that's just not me either.
Hmm.
If I do 5 deals a month, I'm gonna make a lot of money.
Hmm.
If I do 10 deals a month, I'm gonna make a lot of money. So I'm not, if you have a big team, you gotta be 10 plus deals a month to do well, in my opinion, especially in my market, because my market's not, you're not, very rarely you're getting $20,000 wholesale fees.
Yeah.
In
Like Ohio.
Detroit, if yeah, like Ohio, right? You get five, six, seven. I mean, there's times I get two, three, So, and once in a while, you're going to get a 20, you're going to get a 30 every quarter. If I do that every quarter, I'm happy.
Mhm.
So, in my opinion, I guess it just depends. I see people in our group, that our community, they have a big team, they're killing it, they love it. It's not me. I like the small scale and be in control of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm the same way, dude. Like I did the VA thing. I've tried to, I've been everywhere trying to, I just like bringing value. I like, trying to help people. Um, but then I just realized, so I really started hammering down on my numbers, like budget, expenses, all of that in the last couple months. And so my expenses with the team were three, maybe four times what they are now.
Mm,
And I didn't make three or four times the money.
right. That's right.
So I made one and a half, two times the money, but I lost. And I had more time in it, more headache, more stress. I got two sons, I got a fiance, we got sports. I'm not trying to manage people, especially. I have high expectations of people and they just always let me down, you know. So um I know if something goes wrong, it's right here. I know if something goes right, it's right here. Like you said, I like being in control. It's just it just wasn't for me. I totally agree. So I'm huge on time. I just made a video the other day, like where I'm at now in my business. My goals, my metrics are I work like 3 hours a day on the phones. Obviously I got other stuff going on, but for me, like if I do 2 deals a month, three, um, we're good. So like I'm in Southern Ohio in the middle of the hills. The average income here is probably 35, $40,000 a year. Like I said, I just started doing them novations, and I mean if I do two of them a month, I'll make five, six
Right.
hundred thousand dollars. I'll have cash deals in there too. I'm not just switching, but we'll say 3 deals a month is my sweet spot. Because I just want the time. Like I could
Yeah.
sit here all 10 hours a day and probably make $2 million next year, but like I don't need $2 million, nor do I want to earn that. Like let me work my 15 hours, get my time, then I can help others.
Yeah.
Um, I was bad about that, dude, just trying so hard to help others, and my shit started going downhill. Uh,
Same. Yeah.
so yeah, that's awesome, dude. Um, Now, because you've been on both sides, what do you find is the most common mistakes of, or how could wholesalers get better? Because you've been on the end buyer, you've been on the wholesaler, um, and I know it's mostly their numbers, but just like a quick, if you could help a wholesaler, say someone sent you 5 deals, they're all crap. What would your advice be to them of like, hey, here's what we need to do, here's how we can get better?
Hmm. Um, they need to join a program. I'm telling you, a mentorship. And it was the best thing I did. I mean, I knew my numbers, but man, the what I've learned in the last year at Titanium has made my life easier. Just the process and just learning from other people. In the JVs I'm doing with other people, but I think that would be the best money spent for somebody as a new wholesaler is Titanium University. I mean, there's other wholesaling mentorships out there, but I know of most of them, and I've been through a couple of others, and this is the real deal. This is all you need if that's what you really want to be as a wholesaler, in my opinion. I
Yeah,
wish I would have found it in the beginning, back in 2017. I'd be a killer right now.
yeah, dude, I can't stress it enough either. Totally agree. And that's the same thing with network. Like if you want to grow your network, the cheat code is titanium. Like there's what 50 legit end buyers in there. There's 10 dispo teams that can dispo nationwide.
Yeah.
Like you could literally come into titanium, know nothing, get some free leads, get a deal, and then just pass it on.
Yeah.
So dude, I totally agree. That completely changed my whole trajectory as well. Um, okay, let's just a couple more here. I know you're busy, don't want to take your
Yeah.
time. Um, what would you say? So was your biggest like pivot in your wholesaling business where it was like a light flipped on, you switched maybe. So with me, I find the smallest changes a lot of the times have a huge impact. So like what was one or two of those little changes that flipped that light on?
Um, yeah. When I decide I guess there might be a couple little ones recently, decided not to help everybody for
Yeah.
my time wise, just calling them and, oh, can we have a cup of coffee or can we just chat? That could be a half hour wasted of my day,
Hmm.
just get my time back that way. And again, having a partnership with somebody in this business is not necessarily needed. you know, Done it. don't need it. You could do it yourself. You could hire a VA to help you instead of, there's all, I'd rather have you join a mentorship instead of having a partner. I always
Yeah,
tell people not to do that, or if you do it, just do it for 3 months and then, see how it's going.
exactly. And that's like, I mean, it's like people want because we see the TikToks. Like, I want this big team and I want to fly him to Paris and I wanted to, and it looks cool, but like, unless you're to that level, I'm with you. It's more of a headache. Like, if you're not making, $1 million a year, like me, like, you can do $1 million a year by yourself. Like you don't need
Yeah.
all that extra. To me, dude, it's just because I'm the same way. I was doing one-on-ones with people. I was talking to potential TU students. I was handing out leads. I was doing, and then all of a sudden, my day was gone.
Yeah.
And last week, I actually had to DM a couple people and like, hey, I put a pause on one-on-ones. Like, I'm sorry, but like this is it's for me. And I hate that because that's what I want to do is bring value, but it does get to the point where you're like, it becomes a job. It
Yeah.
really does. Um, okay, so there's that. Well, yeah, we're about to wrap it up here. Yeah, first, I do appreciate your time here, Todd. Um, how could people find you or do deals with you?
Um, you could reach out. You could follow me on social media. It's my Todd V Chun. V is in Vernon. That's my middle initial. Todd V Chun 313. They could reach out there. They could call me, text me 248-497-9195. Yeah, just reach out. I do have a link they could fill out, but you could reach out on Facebook. I got a Facebook group, TC Deals Detroit. They could join that group also.
Awesome. And you got, I'm pretty sure thousands of people in there, right?
I got close to 5,000. We're almost at 5,000.
Awesome. Yeah, there's another networking thing, guys. So yeah, go join Todd's group. Follow him on social medias. He's putting out content. Like I said, if you got any deals in Detroit, send them to him. He's called the mayor of Detroit for a reason. So yeah, I appreciate it,
Appreciate
Todd.
you.
And yeah, we'll talk soon. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tyler.